I'll be reacting to Kakkou no Kagen, episode 22. And now I'll be starting my reaction in 1-0 go. Oh, they're actually back into the actual world. Wow, that's actually pretty cool. I'm guessing now it's setting up for the finale. You can't really say they died though. They more likely got transported into another world. It is cute seeing a girl really dramatic here though. No, actually, I take that back. I mean, they did go through a lot of shit. Kind of sad how Nagi gets like, no credit at all. He does look like Nagi. I don't think Nagi gives a shit about that. Oh, guess he couldn't rip it off. Kind of like a little bit of continuity the series did have, though. But at least they gained some experiences from being Isekai, though. I like how they instantly want to put him to work. And I like how that's actually equates to value. I mean, that's how she equates his value. Kind of adorable. Or Nagi, though, like instantly he's put to work. I don't know. There is such a thing as eating a little bit too much. Oh, yeah, she ate too much. That's what I was about to say. There is such a thing as eating a little bit too much here. Oh, that's actually cute seeing Sanchi watch over her own sister like that. That is some bullshit though. If all that happened was a fucking dream, though. I hope everything wasn't a fucking dream. So wait, that shit was a dream? Okay, it wasn't a dream. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, I mean, I guess this is a nice way of actually closing off the series then. Okay. I gotta admit, this felt better than the actual mainline series because the mainline series just fucking dicks around with nothing major happening here. At least this series didn't make any grandiose promises like the actual mainline series. Oh yeah, I checked on my anime list. Apparently, people say episode 22 was the finale. So if I had to rate this last episode, I'll give it on a scale of 1 and 10, with 1 being abysmal, 5 being average, 10 being exceptional. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It was pretty good because here it wraps things up pretty cleanly. I mean, they all go back to their normal world, so instantly a major plot point's resolved. And while it wasn't the funniest episode, hey, it was some real plot progression. And I even love how they paid some gags, like when Abo was trying to get rid of the mask of Maga, and he's like, "Oh no, don't do it." That was kind of hilarious. So this episode had some lively stuff that made it a bit better. And obviously, the voice acting for the episode was pretty incredible too, to its credit. And also, aside from that, gotta say, the artwork still stayed consistent. And aside from that, gotta admit, even some of the music utilized during the episode did set the mood well. And that's why overall I'd say it was an entertaining episode, especially given the fact that for a second it fooled me into thinking that it might have all been a dream, but then afterwards it shows off Manga's mask, and I'm like, okay, woo. At the very least, it didn't do the whole series was a fucking dream bullshit, because then I'd have been fucking pissed and annoyed and disappointed. Thankfully, though, it didn't do anything insane like that. But man, I would be lying if I said that shit didn't worry me though, because it did for like just a few seconds, at the very least. And yeah, those are my thoughts on the episode. As for the series itself, if I had to rate the series overall and say a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being abysmal, 5 being average, and 10 being exceptional, here's what I'm actually going to rate the series overall. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. It was all right. Was it the greatest thing I've ever seen? No, it wasn't, but it wasn't terrible by any means. Like, the series was enjoyable enough, to its credit, because for one, yeah, it wasn't like the best mini chibi anime I've ever seen, but it worked at least in making me crack a smile sometimes. And at the very least, it didn't do anything fucking dumb like the actual series and like constantly dragging shit out. Because at least here we got to the conclusion. Everyone got back to their actual real world. It wasn't just, oh yeah, we're just gonna fucking dick around doing nothing for multiple episodes with a disappointing ending. Not to say the ending was like any of the most special shit I've ever saw, but at least this mini-series had competency, which again is something I can't say about the actual mainline series. I can't actually say the mainline series is competently written, with all the time it teased things to happen only for there never to be any confessions in the actual mainline series. At least here it's an isekai, so it's perfectly understandable in this series. So for it to end the way it did. And here's something else I liked about this mini anime too. All the characters were consistent to their actual mainline series counterparts. And I even love the fact that they retained their actual voice actor and actresses counterparts, because everyone did just an incredible job here as they did in the actual mainline series. And the animation quality for a miniseries wasn't that bad. At least there was some effort put into the visuals. Sometimes I question whether there was any effort put into the visuals in the mainline series, but at least here, the effort is actually pretty real. And that's why I want to take all these factors into consideration. This episode straight up, not episode, the series itself is straight up a 5 out of 10 for average, because on my scale, 5 is average, and anything above or below that is, well, if it's above average. It's below average. But at least for me, this series was entertaining enough. But anyways, y'all, these are my thoughts on the last episode and also the series in general. I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts on how I feel about my reaction, or the thoughts on the episode or the season itself in the comment section below. Hope y'all rate the video, share it, comment, subscribe, and also be sure to hit the bell for notifications. And have a fantastic day or night, y'all. Bye-bye, everyone.